Today's topic is flow control statements. Okay, so we have seen these in C language also. Now we are gonna see them in Java also. Flow control statements, or you can say control flow statements also, right? Flow control statements are three types. I mean, they can be categorized into three. First one are decision making statements. Decision making statements. Second category are iterative statements. Iterative statements. Third category are transfer statements or jump statements. Okay, fine. You can also call them as jump statements. Statements, right? Fine. So listen, actually we have three types of algorithms, right? One is sequential algorithm. Second is conditional algorithms. No, selective algorithms. Second one is selective algorithm. Third one is iterative algorithm. So let me explain you. In the initial classes, you use it to learn program which do not have any conditions. Okay, suppose you have some set of lines in your program, just some set of lines. Okay, so here these are executed normally line by line. There is no condition, there is no loop so far. So these are executed normally. These are called sequential algorithm. Okay, you suppose you are preparing a coffee, or just you are what you call. If I ask you to go and fill the bottle, what would you do? The first step is you take the bottle. Second step is you go to the tap. Third step is you open the bottle. Fourth step is you open the tap. Fifth step is you fill the bottle. Sixth step is you close the tap. Seventh step is you close the bottle. Eighth step is you return back. Ninth step is you give it to me. This is a sequential algorithm, right? Just simple steps. You need to perform them in order. Now, the second type of algorithms are selective algorithms. That means if I ask you to go to some NAD and bring me a cake, here involves some conditions. How would you go? You go to the bus stop first, then you wait for a vehicle. If bus arrives, if bus arrives, you go by bus. If auto arrives first, you go by auto. If they do not arrive for so much time, you go by walk. Okay, here we have if conditions. So some set of statements are executed line by line, and here you encountered a condition. Here you encountered a condition. Now, based on this condition, if this is true, some part of code is executed. If this is false, some part of code is executed. In this way, true part and false part. Okay, if the bus comes, go by bus. If the bus doesn't come, check for another alternative or go by walk. In this way, selective algorithms comes in the second category, right? Based on a condition, you have to choose among the available options. Next, the third one is iterative statements. Iterative statements means some if I ask you to fill 100 buckets, okay, you are a robo and I asked you to fill 100 buckets. I do not tell 100 times, fill the bucket 1, fill the bucket 2, fill the bucket 3. In that way, I do not tell you, I do not instruct you 100 times. I would simply instruct you only one time. How? I'll take a loop. I'll write a loop. Fill the bucket. Which bucket? I'll take a value I. Into that I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, up to 100 values will be taken into I. So when iterations are going on, the robot will understand fill the bucket 1, fill the bucket 2, fill the bucket 3, fill the bucket 4. In that way, actually, that there we have written fill the bucket I, but the loop is iterating again and again, and the I value is being changed, and the machine will understand, okay, I have to fill the bucket 1, fill the bucket 2, fill the bucket 3, in that way. Okay, so some part of code is executed again and again and again and again. It is called iterative algorithm. Okay, now, so Fine. So now we have decision making. So such kind of loop statements, if statements, and switch case statements and transfer statements are going to come in today's topic. These are called flow control statements, flow control structures. So first category is decision making statements, also called conditional statements. Okay, where you will find if statements, which case like that, conditional statements. And the second category is iterative statements, also called as looping statements. Okay, looping statements. And the fourth one is transfer statements, jump statements, break, continue, go to. In C language, you have go to. Return, break, continue in Java. Okay, in C language, we have go to, but not in Java. Okay, now, so let us start with decision making statements. Decision making statements means, I guess you know, if statements. The first category is, okay, this is Java editor, right? కొట్టగానే if syntax వచ్చేస్తుంది. So decision making statements, shortcut. First one is if statements. If statements, and not only just single if, we have subcategories. Simple if. Next one is if else. Next one is if else if ladder. We also call it as if else if ladder. Okay, if else if. Third one is nested if inside an if. Okay, these are the four if statements, right? So if statements లో ఈ ఫోర్ వస్తాయి. నెక్స్ట్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ కండిషనల్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ వస్తాయి బేస్డ్ ఆన్ కండిషనల్ ఆపరేటర్. Conditional statements, actually we have conditional operator. So conditional operator, we have it been included in the decision making statements also, because it's the same like if else. Okay, fine. So this is second one, right? And the third one is switch case. Switch case. Okay, these are decision making statements. Actually, the categories in flow control statements are decision making statements, iterative statements, and transfer statements. In the decision making statements, we have three categories: if statements, conditional statement, switch case. In if statements, we have four types of ifs: simple if else if, and nested if. Okay, and the second category in flow control structure is iterative statements. Iterative statements low. Ignore the spelling mistakes. Iterative statements, we have three loops: while loop, do while loop, and of course for loop. Other than these three, we have for each loop also in Java. Okay, for each loop. For each means the each is not a keyword, the syntax would be different. It would be something like this. Okay, so we shall see that. We call them, usually call them as for each loop. So these four are the loops we are going to learn in Java under iterative statements category. And the last one, jump statements. Of course, common from C language: break, continue, and no go to, just return statement. Break is used in loops and switch cases. Continue is used in loops. Return is used in which one? Guess. Where do we use
Functions,
return
sir.
statement? Yes,
Functions.
exactly. Yes, perfect. Functions. Okay, so now we shall start with the conditional statements, that is if statements. Okay, I need not to take much time here because you all know the syntax of simple if, because we all have some idea on C language. The syntax is if is a keyword followed by a condition in the parenthesis. Okay, sorry. And it has a body, it's a block, right? So this is the syntax for if statement. And how does this work? The control will come when it encounters if body, if keyword, it would check the condition. If the condition evaluates to true, here condition means we give an expression which includes relational operators. Only relational operators expression gives true or false, right? So when this condition evaluates to true, the control will go into if body, executes the statements, and it will come out of the if body and executes the remaining statements under it. If the condition evaluates to false, the control will skip the statements inside if body. Okay, so this is what you meant by decision control statements, selective statements. That is, some block of statements would be executed depending on the condition. If the condition is evaluated true, this block will be executed, otherwise not. So this is the syntax for simple if. Next one comes if else. If else means, so here with simple if we cannot perform some operations all the time. Suppose you need to check whether the candidate is male or female. If he is male, you need to perform some set of operations. If he is male, I mean female, you need to perform some other set of statements. So if we use simple if here, okay, you will check whether the candidate gender is, okay, let me check, gender equals to male. Okay, if this is evaluate, perform male operation. Okay, perform some male candidate related operations. Next, what about if the candidate is female? So again, you have to check if the is gender, check if it is male, female. Then perform female related operations in this way. So this is right. This is valid. It will give you output, but the problem is for every candidate you are checking for 2 times, right? Of course, when the candidate is male, there is no chance that he would be female. Need not to check again. If the candidate is female, you need not to check whether he is male or not. So every time, only once the checking is enough. But here we are performing the checking. We are checking the condition 2 times, right? Even if it is granted, it is true that he is male. I mean, the candidate gender, the variable is M. We have performed the operation. Still, again, we are checking for female or not. Okay. So that's why instead of doing it, checking it 2 times, you would go for second statement, that is if else. If else means, yes, condition is checked for 1 times. If it is true, perform some set of operations. If it is false, perform other set of operations. So అంటే true అయితే ఇది, false అయితే ఇదని. Okay, for true, if block is executed. For false, else block is executed. Okay, so here the same operation is being done. If it is male, perform this operation. Okay, male operations. If it is female, perform female operations. Yes, previously we were doing the same, but here the condition is checked only 1 time. So when you have one condition and 2 options to do, true for one operation for true, one operation for false. So you need not to go for if statement. You would go for if else. Okay, so if else condition syntax is this one. True block, when it is true, you would find the syntax in this way, true block in your textbooks. And this is false block. That means if this condition evaluates true, any condition, you would give any condition. If this evaluates to true, true block will be executed. Otherwise, false block, else block will be executed. Okay, here sometimes you would write condition here also, that is invalid. Else block doesn't require a condition because the condition is checked only 1 time. Okay, make sure you do not mention any condition here. So this is the second one. Now, assume I have. Do we need to check? Do we need to do any examples? Vinita, Shreya, Kusuma, లేదా అన్నీ ఒకేసారి చేద్దామా? యాక్చువల్లీ ఐఎమ్
అన్నీ
గోయింగ్
ఒకేసారి
ఫాస్ట్
చేద్దాం సార్.
బికాజ్ మీ అందరికి వచ్చు కదా, యూ హ్యావ్ లెర్న్ దీస్ ఇన్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్, రైట్? దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ రన్నింగ్ ఫాస్ట్. ఓకే, ఫైన్. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ else if ladder, the third one. We call it if else if. So assume I have a condition, I have a situation where I need to check more conditions, more than one. Okay, like I need to check whether the student is passed in distinction or first class or second, third, or fail. Suppose he got marks more than 75 percentage, then he would be given distinction grade. If he got marks more than 60 and less than 75, he would be granted, I mean, he would be given first class grade. If 50 to 60, then second class. In this way, I have multiple conditions to check. Okay, we would ask the user to enter his percentage, or we would ask him to enter his marks. We would calculate the total marks in percentage. If the percentage falls from 75 to 100, okay, more than 75, that means he is passed in distinction. Okay, distinction. Next, if the percentage falls between 60 to 74, then we should display him, display he passed in first class. Okay, if the percentage falls between 50 to 60, you display, sorry, 60, right? You display he passed in second class. In this way, I have multiple conditions. Next, third class, next fail, under 40. So I totally I have how many choices here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 choices. Okay. So for this, I need to check how many conditions. Condition 1, whether he got 75 to 100 or not. Condition 2, check whether 60 to 74 or not. Condition 3, 50 to 60 or not. Condition 4, 40 to 60 or not. Condition 5, below 40 or not. In this way, I have multiple conditions to check. In such cases, you cannot go with if else. Okay, you cannot go with if else, because if else contain only one condition. If the condition is true, one block is executed, or else another block is executed, the else block. But here I have many conditions to check, right? Therefore, I would definitely go for if else if. Okay, and the syntax is same like if else. So if you have if statement, right, inside that condition, this is the body of if statement, and we have else. I'm first writing the if else block, if else syntax. Okay, so look carefully. Let me delete this. So this is if condition, if block, and this is else block. If you have more than one condition to check, you are going with if else if, right? Therefore, the if else if has to be written. Simply follow this tip. You first write the if else. Between this if and else, add else if. That's it. Else if. Because else if means a condition. Whenever you get if, you will be following with a condition, right? Okay. Next. So in this way, listen, now watch it carefully. I have if, I have else, just like if else. But between that, I have another condition with the keyword else and if. Advaina? So in this way, you can add as many number of if conditions as possible based on your requirement. Got it? And the body. So here I have if statement and else block, if block and else block. Between that, I have several else if block. That means if you are having more than one condition, those conditions would be given with else if, and this must be included between this if and else. So how does this work? Assume I have few more. Okay. So in this way, I have n number of conditions. So now how does this syntax work? First, the control will check the if condition. If this is true, okay, if this evaluates to true, it would execute these statements, if body statements, and that it would ignore the remaining statements, remaining all statements. It would directly come out of the, directly come to the 19th line out of the all else blocks, all if else blocks. Why means, consider an example. If you are checking 10 bags, right? 10 bags. You're checking for your book. You know, out of those 10 bags, you somewhere in one bag, your book is present. Then you're checking. You have checked for the first bag. No, the book is not available. You have checked the second bag. The book is not available. Now you have checked the third bag. You are checking one by one. When you found the book in third bag, would you check the remaining 7 bags? No, right? When you found your book in any one of the bags, then you would stop the checking. The same thing is happening here. It would start checking the conditions one by one. If this evaluates to false, if this condition evaluates to false, we would call it condition 1. Then it would go to check the second condition, second if block, else if block. Okay, and if this also evaluates to false, it would check the third condition. In this way, until any condition is found true, it would checking one by one. Suppose if any condition is true, suppose here we got this condition true, right? Then what happened? It will go into the else if body, this else if body execute the statements, and that's it. It would not continue checking the remaining statements. It would directly come to the last line, that is here 19th line. Okay, fine. So what if all the conditions are true? Okay, so when if statement was true in if else syntax, the control went into else body, right? If the condition was false in if statement, the control went to else body. Same way here, all the if statements, all the if else if statements are false, then by default, I mean, then after all the conditions are evaluated and all of them got wrong, got false, then this else block is executed. Okay, if any of the condition is true among all these if else ifs, then only that block will be executed and come out of the, I mean, come to the last line. It would not go for if else part again. Adotna, imagine them as bags. If you find your book any one of the bags, you would stop there. You just execute the statements and come to the last part. I mean, completely after the else body. Clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us do an example. ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగండి, ఇదేదో రీస్టార్ట్ అంటుంది, దీని బాధ ఏంటో. రీస్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను, లేదా పోస్ట్పోన్ చేద్దామా? పోస్ట్పోన్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, ఫైన్. సో we shall see an example. If else if ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చేద్దాం. And the example is, example చేద్దామా హోంవర్క్ ఇద్దామా? Let's see. The question is, you need to read the marks of a student. Okay, read the student marks. Student marks, assume five subjects marks. Okay, 5 or 3, your wish. 5 subjects marks. Now read them into variables s1, s2, s3, s4 and s5. Now calculate the total marks, that is t equals to how much? S1 plus S2 plus S3. Okay, you do this. S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus S4. Next, find the percentage, calculate the percentage. And how do you find the percentage? Total marks, his total marks into 100 by the total of these marks. I mean, out of 100, you are asking, you want the name. Assume the exam is conducted for 100 marks for each subject. Then 100 plus 100 plus 100, totally how much? Out of 500, he got some marks, that is stored in total. So the percentage formula is this: total into 100 by 500. Okay, so the total marks are 500, and this total contains the marks of student, total marks of the student, right? Fine. So after calculating the percentage, now based on the percentage, you have to display his grade. Okay na? You have to display his grade. ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా, if his percentage is between 75 to 100, you display what? Distinction. Otherwise, pick whether the percentage falls between 65 to 74, then display first class. In that way, 50 to 60 second class, 40 to 50 third class, below 40 fail. In that way. Okay, shall we do, or you shall do it as homework? Shall we do it now? అంటే ఏంటి homework? Okay, fine, homework.
HW, sir.
Okay, Tanuja. Okay, Vinita. Fine. So the next one is fourth one in if statements is nested ifs. Nested ifs. Okay, that means if inside an if. Right? If inside an if. So let me take an example. Let us start with simple if. I have if statement with a condition and if body. This is the syntax for simple if, right? Now, if I include one more if here, one more if condition inside outer if, then this is called nested if. Okay, fine. So this is a nested in if syntax, one of the syntax of nested if, because we may have many syntaxes. I can include an if inside a simple if, I can include an if inside an if else, I can include an if inside else body also, I can include if else if inside if else if ladders also, and even here also I can include one more if. anything. Okay, just if inside condition inside a condition, that's it. So these are called nested ifs. Now, okay, let me show you. Suppose system dot SOPLN. Let me write in shortcut. I have SOPLN of, let us say, some winning. Okay, winning. ఇక్కడ కూడా ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ రాస్తా, ఇక్కడ కాదు. ఓకే, అక్కడే రాద్దాం. సమ్ SOPLN అంటే సిస్టమ్ డాట్ అవుట్ డాట్ ప్రింట్ఎల్ఎన్. ఓకే, సమ్ అలిగింది అని రాస్తున్నా. Now tell me, I have two conditions, right? Here I have C1. Assume the condition 1. This is condition 1 and this is condition 2. Now, what if the condition 1 evaluates to false and condition 2 evaluates to false? What is the output? Tell me. Both the condition evaluates to false. Which printing statement is going to come? Aligindiya, Vinaya?
Nothing.
సార్ నాకు క్వశ్చన్ వినిపించలేదు సార్ నాకు.
Listen, follow this syntax, Vinita. Here I have outer if. The condition 1. Inside that I have a printing statement. Something. Okay. Now inside the if statement, I have one more if statement. Let us say condition 2. Inside that I have a printing statement, one more printing statement. Now my question is, if the condition 1 evaluates to false, I assume this condition is false and condition 2 is also false, then what would be the output of these statements? Both the conditions
నథింగ్
are
సార్.
false.
Nothing, sir.
Yes, because when the condition 1 itself is false, the control will never go into this body. Okay, the control will never go into this if body. Therefore, there is no chance of evaluating this condition, right? That is why the output is nothing. We are not going to get anything. Suppose let us say condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, then the output will be
అలిగింది
Aligindi.
సార్.
okay. Here condition 1 is true, therefore the control entered into this body and it starts evaluating these statements. In outer if I have totally 1, 2, 3, 3 statements, right? Other than in braces. So here it will start executing the first statement, that's a printing statement, it will be displayed. And second statement, it's a if statement again. So what would it do? It would check this condition. If this condition is true, then it will go into the if body, this if body, but the condition evaluated to false. We assumed it as false, right? Therefore, it will skip this body, simple if body, it will come to here and that's it. This body is over. So only Aligindi will be displayed. Suppose C1 is false and C2 is true. Then the output would be,
Nothing.
yes, again nothing. Why? Because if, of course this is true, condition is true, but first of all the condition 1 has to be true, right? If this condition is true, then only the control will go into this body and it will check this fourth line, the inner if. But when the condition 1 itself is false, the control will just simply come to the 8th line, 9th line directly. It will skip this complete set of blocks because this condition is false. Therefore, even if this condition is true, it is not gonna be executed. When your outer door is, suppose your room is, your house is locked, and but your room is open, can you go inside? No, right? First the outdoor should be, I mean, the main door should be open. The main door is closed, but you're inside your house, your room is open. The door of your room is open, but there is no chance. First, the main door has to be open. Alaga. Okay. So let us say both are true. Both conditions are true. Then the output would be
Aligindi Vini.
Aligindi Yavaru Vinni. Alaga. Okay. So both will be executed. Right? So this is with simple if. I mean, if inside an if. Just if I take the example of simple if. Now let us see if else. Let me go with if else. Condition 1. I have a body. Next, else block and body. So this is the syntax for if else, right? So now inside if else, let me add one more if else. So I'm going to make the syntax complicated now. Now you have to tell the answers. So I am including if else inside if body. Akkada apatla again I am gonna include that inside else body also. So I have an if else inside if body and an if else inside else body also. So totally how many conditions are there here? Totally 3 conditions. A condition for the outer if. This is the main if, outer one. For this if statement, this is the else part because the program execution, I mean the block is opened here and the block is closed here. After this block only, its else part will begin, right? So this else part belongs to this if. And here I have one more if else inside the if statement. So here this block is closed. That means this else belongs to this if. Okay, so when you get confused, you better provide enough brackets, enough braces. Because sometimes we skip these braces, right? If there is only one statement inside a loop body or if body, these braces are optional. Okay, we use this facility. When there is only one statement, sometimes you would not give these braces. But when you have such complicated code, some such complicated syntax, then better to give these braces even for one statement. Then you won't get confused. Okay, fine. So let me add some code here. Assume statement 1. Let me write something. Okay. So some Jashma. And here one more printing statement. Listen, actually during the examples, during these simple examples in the class level in the sense your academics in your college, maximum you give examples with printing statements only. Okay. So what students usually think is printing statement should only be given. When we ask them questions, they would answer like, sir, printing statement will be executed. Printing. No, you shouldn't answer like that. You should say statements. Okay. These statements could be anything. You can have any number of statements in this body, this if body. And the statements can be any expressions, any for loops or any condition checking or any expressions or anything. Not only just printing statements. Here for our convenience, to make it simple example, I'm giving always printing statements. Okay. But don't think every time we are gonna get printing statements only. You can have any expression over here, any expressions, any set of expressions. Okay, so you should better say statements, not printing. Print will print, it will print. No, it will execute the statements. You should say like that. Okay. So in this else block, I should have extra loop. Someone. Okay. Now in this condition 3, let me write. Jasmine. One more flower name, please. Okay, some Kushmi. Right? Some statements, okay. Now my question is, I did not explain how this complete syntax works. But you all know how does an if statement works, how does an else block, when does an else block executes, and how an nested if also works. You know. So now directly it's your duty to guess. Okay, it's your job to guess what output is going to come when the conditions are evaluating to true or false. I shall give which condition is true, which condition is false. But do you need an explanation or you can directly answer? Tell me. Shall I ask the questions or you would like me to have explanation? You want me to explain the syntax once?
సార్ క్వశ్చన్ అడగండి ఆన్సర్ చెప్పకపోతే అప్పుడు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేద్దాం.
అవునా నవ్య, అంటే నెక్స్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అని పేరు యాడ్ చేస్తా. ఓకే, సో నవ్య చెప్పినట్టు చేద్దాం. Suppose all conditions are false. I shall ask some of you, they should only answer. Okay, Jashma, answer me. If 3 conditions, I have 3 conditions here. Actually I have if else, outer if else. Inside if body I have one more if else. Inside else body I have one more if else. So total I have 3 conditions. Here condition 1, condition 2, and here condition 3. So what if all these 3 conditions evaluate to false? All these three conditions evaluated to false. Tell me, which statement is going to execute? Line 5, line 9, line 16, or line 20? Fast ఉన్నవా జాష్మా? లేదు, ఈ అమ్మాయి జంప్ అయిపోయింది, ఈ అమ్మాయిని రిమూవ్ చేద్దాం. చెప్పు.
అడగండి మళ్ళీ.
వాట్ బుల్షిట్. లిజన్, I have three conditions, right? Mali first name cheppalandi. Condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. My question is, which statement will execute now? Which set of statements are going to be executed when these three conditions evaluated to false? False, false, false. Okay? Tell me, condition 1 is false, condition 2 is false, condition 3 is also false. Which statement? Line number 5, line number 9, or 16, 20?
ఏది డిస్ప్లే అవ్వదు.
ఏది డిస్ప్లే అవ్వదు. నెక్స్ట్
20,
నవ్య,
sir.
ఆన్సర్ మీ.
Kushmi
Kushmita says
display
20.
20
Yes,
అది కుష్మి డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది.
exactly. The answer is line number 20 will be executed because condition 1 is false. Condition 1 is false means this if body will not get executed. When if condition is evaluated to false, what is going to happen? The else block is going to be executed. We know, right? We have seen in if else syntax. When the if statement is evaluated to false, the if block completely ignored and the control will go to else body. That's it. Now the control is here, it is ready to execute this else body statements. Now inside
Sir,
else body statements, I have one
Sir,
more condition. నేను అడిగినప్పుడు ఆన్సర్
కండిషన్
షట్ అప్, మ్యూట్. గుడ్. ఓకే, సో ఏం చెప్తున్నా, ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఫాల్స్ అయింది, ఈ కండిషన్ ఫాల్స్ అయింది. ఇఫ్ బాడీలో ఈ కండిషన్ 1 ఫాల్స్, సో ద కంట్రోల్ విల్ డైరెక్ట్లీ come to else body. Now the control is here ready to execute these statements. Now here we have one more if statement, so it will act accordingly. Check the condition. If it is true, this block is executed. If it is false, this block is executed. I said all the conditions are false. The condition 3 is also false. So what is going to happen? This is false. Therefore, the else block of this if will be executed. That is, this statement will be executed. Answer is Kushmi. Okay, that's. Now next one. Shreya, all the conditions are true.
జాష్మా కిందకి వెళ్ళండి ఒకసారి, స్క్రోల్ చేయండి కిందకి. జాస్మిన్ కాదు కాదు కాదు, పైకి వెళ్ళండి. జాష్మా ఒకటే వస్తుంది.
Exactly. Only Jashma ఒకటే వస్తుంది because condition 1 is true. I said three conditions are true now. Condition 1 is true. Therefore, the control will go into only this if body. It will never go into else body again because condition 1 is true. So it will only execute this if body. It will not touch the else body, right? So therefore, we have to check here only. So inside this block, we have one more if statement. Now check this condition 2. Okay, when the control entered into the if body after condition 1 evaluated true, it will start executing these lines one by one. But here these are normal, not normal statements, right? These are one more selective statement. So check the condition if condition 2, this is also evaluated true. Therefore, this block will be executed and this will be skipped, right? Because this is a complete one part if else. When this is true, this if block will be executed and this will be ignored. So I said condition 2 is also true. Therefore, only Jashma will be printed. Only this statement will be executed and remaining all are skipped. So now after completion of this part, the control will come into here. Control will jump to here because it will skip this, right? Now control reached here. After reaching here means it has finished executing if statements. When it is finished this if statement, it will come to this part, right? I mean 24th line. It is not going to execute this else part anymore. అర్థమైందా? Any confusions?
No, sir.
Okay. The last question. What if the conditions are false, true, false? False, true, false. Vinita, చెప్పు.
సార్ స్క్రోల్ చేయరా ఒకసారి?
ఫాల్స్, ట్రూ, ఫాల్స్.
సార్ పైకి తీయండి.
సరే, ఒక్క నిమిషం. చెప్పు.
సో ఫాల్స్, ట్రూ, ఫాల్సా?
అవును, ఫాల్స్, ట్రూ, ఫాల్స్.
సార్ అందులో ఎల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ కుష్మి.
కుష్మి ప్రింట్ అవుద్దా? ఇంకోళ్ళు చెప్పండి ఆన్సర్.
20th line है सर कुश्मी
కుష్మి
Shmir
ప్రింట్
print
అవుద్దా?
అవుతుంది sir.
Listen, I said false, true, false. Yes, right. Kushme print out. When the condition 1 is false, it will directly come into the else body. Now here in the else body we have condition 3. Condition 3 is also false. Therefore, obviously, the else part of this if statement will be executed. That is Kushme. What if false, true, true? False, true, true. Navya Chapu?
Jasmine print అవుతుంది.
Yes, Jasmine print
Jasmine
out.
print అవుతుంది.
Because false, that means it will come to the else body. Here it is checking the condition 3. Condition 3 is false, sorry, true. Therefore, of course, 16th line will be executed. Okay, is that clear? Fine. So now I have given you homework, right? Previously in if else if ladder, I asked you to write a program to read the student marks and calculate the total, calculate the percentage. Based on the percentage, you need to display his rank. Now I am going to change, add a few modification. That is, actually in that scenario, suppose if the student got 5 subjects, right? 4 subjects, 100 marks. 100 in maths, 100 in physics, 100 in chemistry, 100 in English. But 10 marks, just 10 or 20 marks in, just 20 marks in the last subject. Now what would be the total? 420, right? 420 into 100 by some 500 means he's getting around 80 above. 80 above percentage. That means it would display distinction. The student grade as distinction. But tell me, if a person, if a student is pass in 4 subjects and fail in 1 subject, what is going to happen? The final result will be fail, right? Anagada. So what the modification is, first you need to check whether he got 40 above in all the subjects or not. Initially I said you check, you read the marks, find the total, find the percentage, and based on the percentage, display the grade. But here the modification is before displaying the grade. That means before calculating the percentage, you check whether he is passing all the subjects or not. First he has to be pass, the student, he or she has to be pass in all the subjects. That means assume the pass mark is 40. Below 40, it's a fail mark. So check whether all the students got more than 40 or not in all the subjects. When the condition is true, yes, he got more than 40 in all subjects only, then only you check the grade. Else you display fail directly. Ardhamatna? So the first condition that has to be checked is to check whether he got more than 40 in all the subject or not. Yes, he got more than 40 in all the subjects, then calculate his total and percentage and displays grade. Otherwise, you can simply display him as fail. Is that clear? So నాకు 1 hourలో వచ్చేయాలి. 1 hour వదిలే 3 PM లోపు నాకు ఆన్సర్ ఇచ్చేయండి. రాసిస్తారో, టైప్ చేసిస్తారో, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసిస్తారో ఏదో నాకు చెప్పండి. ఓకేనా? సో దిస్ ఈజ్ విత్ conditional statements. Okay, only if statements. We have seen only if statements today. Tomorrow's class we shall see conditional statement and switch case. The time permits loops also. Any more doubts?
No sir, no doubts.
Okay, fine.